இன்னும் கரெக்ட் இல்லையா? ஓகே. எஸ். இன்னும் 2
That
அன்லாக்
can't be
பண்ணணும். ஓகே.
right. Oh, but what if
லெட்ஸ்
they're
ஸ்டார்ட்
real
தி
after
quest.
all? No, that can't be. Mm, but what if there's a chance?
வேணா ஆல்ட்டோ கொஞ்சம் ட்ரை பண்ணுங்க. இது ஒரு நல்ல ஐடியா.
Greetings,
ட்ரை
miss.
பண்ணுங்க.
Is there something that's bothering you?
Oh, no, it's nothing. I'm Della Roche, the representative of the Fontaine Fishing Association. How can I help you?
அதான் தெரியுமே மீன் பிடிக்க ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டைம் வந்து இருக்கு.
Oh, so you're adventurers. Oh, finally, someone has heard my
நம்ம இது முன்னாடி
prayers.
பார்த்துருக்குறோம்.
Paimon could tell you were really bothered by something. Don't worry, you've got 2 super experienced adventurers right here. We'll take care of anything and everything for you as long as you pay us a little bit of mora.
Oh, you are exactly the helpers I need. See, the problem is that the fish around a fishing spot at Irenaeus have just all up and vanished recently.
வேனிஷ்.
They
எப்படி
disappeared
வேனிஷ்
too
ஆச்சு?
quickly for it to have been the work of human anglers. As the representative of the Fishing Association, I had planned to go and investigate the area right away. Right, but unfortunately, as the representative of the Fishing Association, there are a few other errands that I absolutely have to run. So,
So, you'd like us to investigate the spot for you?
Right now,
exactly,
right
you're
here,
right
emoji.
on the mora. So I thought I could delegate this work to you. Are you two some kind of prophets, knowing exactly what I was going to say like that? Or maybe like the oracles you read about in fairy tales?
Yeah, we're just really experienced in this kind of thing, that's all.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. I'll get a good night's sleep knowing the two of you are on the case.
பைமான் எப்படி
But
தெரியுமா
don't we
தண்ணியில வந்து
just
நம்ம
need to
கண்டுபிடிக்கும் போது
investigate the missing fish? It
பசியோட
really
சுத்திட்டு
doesn't
இருந்தது.
sound too difficult.
டக்குனு மீன் தண்ணியில பாத்துருவோம்.
No,
அப்படியே
you
பிடிச்சி
mustn't let your
தின்றலாம்
guard
அப்படின்னு
down.
சொல்லி விழுந்துச்சு.
As the representative of the Fishing
அப்புறமா தான்
Association,
ஞாபகம்
I
வந்திருக்கும்.
have good
பீச்
reason to
தெரியாது.
believe that the fish have gone missing due to an encounter with the water imps. Yes, you're both Outlanders, right? Our local fairy tales often speak of a terrifying underwater creature called Thelxie. The story our parents would tell us was always the same. If we went to the water alone, then we'd be snatched away and eaten by a water imp called Thelxie.
சரி.
A child eating water imp? Did they tell you what it looked like?
My father would always describe it as a beautiful, multicolored snake woman, while my mother said it had a
Snake
handsome
woman.
face.
Hi, Gunaran,
It's really
welcome to the stream.
strange, though,
Thanks for
because
the
you'd
head
also hear other people describe
there
it as just a
tomorrow.
chubby penguin with a deceptive appearance.
சாப்பிட்டு
Even though the tales vary regarding its appearance, everyone agrees
Yesterday.
that it's
Adana.
really dangerous.
Tomorrow.
It lives in an
Tomorrow
underwater
in the
cave
top
surrounded
purple,
by
I see
pallid
it.
bones and uses its sensitive
அது பரவாயில்ல.
nose to track down
chickens.
lonely children who've lost their way.
இந்த குண்டான
And
ஸ்மூத்
once it
கேம் ப்ளே
finds a
எப்படி இருக்கு?
child,
இதோ
it
phone.
uses its alluring singing voice to lure them into the water before swallowing them whole. Pretty terrifying, isn't it?
Sounds kinda scary. But
ஸ்மூத் கேம்
isn't
ப்ளே
that
எப்படி
pretty
இருக்குன்னு.
normal for a fairy tale? After all, those kinds of stories are usually made up to help keep children away from danger.
But what if the fairy tale was inspired by a real-life tale? Just like how a water vein always has a source. Well, I wouldn't call it evidence per
என்ன
se,
bro ஒண்ணும்
but I've
புரியல.
heard some rumors lately.
Yo,
They say
புதுசா
that
phone
someone
வாங்குனியே, smooth-ஆ
recently
game
saw a
விளையாடுறதுக்கு
child
எப்படி
walk
இருக்குதுன்னு.
into the water as if he was possessed by something.
ப்ளீஸ் நம்மள
Doesn't that
குழப்பதா இல்ல
sound
நம்ம
just like he
குழம்பு
was
போயிருக்கோம்.
responding to the call of a water imp?
So you mean someone really got eaten by a water imp?
ஓ நல்லா இருக்கு.
It's all hearsay, so it's hard to confirm.
அநியாயத்துல
But
டியூப்
still,
லைட்டா இருக்கு
they
கூடாதியா?
all say this happened on Irenaeus.
அத
That's no
பெரிய
laughing
டியூப் லைட்டா
matter if
இருக்க
you
நானே
ask me.
சொல்றேன்.
Both the Opera
பரவாயில்ல.
House and the Fountain of Lucine were built
இப்பதான்
there,
இருந்தேன்.
and the
ஓ.
sources of many water veins can be traced to the
அப்ப
island as
கனவுல
well.
வாங்கிருப்பீங்க குணாலன்
Combine
மறந்துங்க.
that with the mysterious mist, the huge tree with expansive underground roots, and the rumor that the fish shops on the island can understand human language. Is it really so
குணாலன்,
shocking that an island
கொஞ்சம்
so
imagine பண்ணி
shrouded
பாருங்க.
in
ஒரு நாள்
mystery
தூங்கி
could harbor
எழுப்புறீங்க.
a terrifying water imp as
எழுந்து
well?
பார்த்து உங்க பழைய ஃபோன் தான் உங்க பக்கத்துல
I
இருக்கு.
feel like you're pulling our leg.
புது ஃபோன் இல்ல.
Just piling on the rumors now.
என்னடான்னு பார்த்தா வீட்ல கேட்டா கனவுடா. என்னடா தூக்கத்துல இருந்து நீ ஏதாவது கனவு கண்டுட்டு உளறியா
situation,
அப்படின்றாங்க.
right, traveler?
நீங்க அந்த அனுபவிச்ச எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் அது எல்லாமே பொய்ன்னு உங்களுக்கு தெரிய வரும்போது உங்க முகத்துல அந்த ஷாக் இருக்கும்.
Oh, marvelous. Then I'll just mark the stretch of water on your map. Don't forget that no matter what, safety always comes first.
Even while using coconut. இல்லை ப்ரோ, பொதுவாகவே கோகோனட் மில்க் யூஸ் பண்ணிங்கன்னா நீங்கள் எந்த சில்லி பவுடர் போட்டாலும் கொஞ்சம் எக்ஸ்ட்ரா போட்டால் தான் உங்களுக்கு வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா வரும். கம்மியாக போட்டால் வராது. உங்கள் வீட்டில் வந்துட்டு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அது போட்டு போட்டு பழக்கம் அடிச்சு, ஸோ அது அவங்களுக்கு நார்மல் அமௌண்ட்டாக தெரியும், வேறு ஒன்றும் இல்லை. எங்கள் வீட்டில் தேங்காய்லாம் அரைச்சி போடுறதுக்கே உரப்பு கம்மியாகும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா லைட்டாக எக்ஸ்ட்ரா போடுவாங்க. நீங்கள் பால் ஊற்றுவீங்க இன்னும். என்ன பண்ணுங்க இப்போ? எக்ஸ்ட்ரா போடும். அதே தான் அதான் கான்செப்ட். கென்ஷின் போயிட்டு வரேன். ஓகே, நல்லா யுனைட்னு ஓடும் பீஸு. யுனைட் போயிட்டு வரேன் ப்ரோ, யுனைட் போகிறோம் ப்ரோன்னா இப்போ கென்ஷின் எல்லாம் வசதி தான் காரணம். எங்க வீட்டில் தேங்காய் மில்க் ஆட் பண்ண மாட்டாங்க, தேங்காய் அரைச்சி போடுவாங்க. இங்க என்ன இன்வெஸ்டிகேட் பண்ணணும்? ஓ, கால் அடித்தோம்.
These look pretty fresh. Did the water imp get someone again? Let's look around and see if we can find anything else.
என்ன இம்பு? குழம்பு கெட்டியா போகும். எஸ், கிரேவி.
Did you hear something just
Hi
now?
friends, bro, welcome to the stream. Did you hear something just now? Okay, coming from the water, louder and louder until something emerges with a loud splash. யாருக்கு? இவனா? Feminist.
Paimon? Traveler?
Feminist?
I'm sorry. I forgot I was still wearing this.
Unite ஆடணும். டீம் அப்போதான் வரலாம். ஓ,
Paimon, are you okay?
பயமானா எப்பவுமே ஓகே தான்.
Paimon nearly mistook you for a water imp. Thank
அதுதான் நல்லா
goodness it
சோறு
was
போட்டு
just
வளர்த்துட்டு
you
இருக்கேன்.
wearing your helmet.
சோறு போடணும்னா எண்ணெயை திரும்பணும்.
A water imp?
தூங்கும்போது. We are investigating water imp called
Thelxie, you say?
Thelxie.
How surprising.
Thelxie.
Huh? You know that name too?
Looking.
Or
Thanks
do
for
you know
your
someone else
looking.
who's trying to investigate the water imp?
No, I think our situations are probably unrelated.
அந்த மில்க் போடுறதுக்கு ஒரு முறை இருக்கு. You have to put first milk after the chicken gets cooked on normal water, and then second milk after while the spice get mixed in it. என்ன ஜெய்கில்ஸ் இப்போதுலேருந்தே ட்ரைனிங்கா?
Sure, if that's in order. I know the name because of one of my employers. She noticed the clockwork penguins I brought to the workshop and contacted me through the shop's owner. She has commissioned me to make a special toy. Following her request, I've named the toy Thelxie.
Huh? But isn't it a little creepy to name a toy after a water imp?
டாய்.
Wait, hold on. For a minute, you never take commissions from other people.
இந்த ஏஜ்ல கொஞ்சமா தெரிஞ்சு
but,
வச்சிருக்கீங்க. போக போக
she
கத்துக்கீங்க.
made a special request, but out of respect for her privacy,
சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கான்.
I can't really talk about it. It's all right though. She'll be coming over to check on my progress shortly, and I'll just tell her that you're two of my trustworthy companions. Hearing that, she might be willing to share some information, and you'll be able to continue with your investigation.
Huh. Even though you seem a little cold and reserved sometimes, you're still really considerate. Our target isn't necessarily the water imp, though. We're primarily here to investigate the disappearance of the fish.
The fish?
இதுக்கு மிஞ்சி என் அம்மாவை தான் கூப்பிட்டு வீசில விடுது. எதுக்கு அம்மாவை? யோ, நான் இப்போ நீ சொன்ன ரெசிபி தப்புன்னு நான் சொல்லவே இல்லையா? இப்போதுலேருந்து கற்று வச்சிட்டு இருக்கேன் தான் நான் சொன்னேன். which I'm afraid to do for some reason. அப்போ கூப்பிடு, அப்போ அம்மாவை கூப்பிடு. அம்மா கிட்ட ஏகணும் நீ என்னென்ன சிலுமை சொல்லாம பண்ற.
I think I may have connected the dots. These past few weeks, I've been taking Thelxie for underwater testing every day. The pressure testing makes a lot of noise. So, all that about the disappearing fish, well, it was probably because of me.
So that's how it was? That actually makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
Wait, so could that mean the child we heard about who walked into the water was
also just preparing for another?
Yes, I think that's quite likely as well.
So in the end, it was just Fremine. Paimon spent all this time imagining what a water and from the fairy tales might look like, and it all turns out to be just a hoax.
I'm sorry. It sounds like I've created a lot of trouble for everyone else as well. I'll try to finish this commission as soon as possible. Once I'm done, the fish should come back.
Oh.
Thank you.
Yes,
Actually,
just a
how much work
misunderstanding.
do you still have left, Fremine? Maybe we could lend you a hand.
Thanks for offering. But I can't trouble you any more than I already have.
Yeah.
Hey,
You know
it's
trouble
no trouble at all.
Yes.
Don't you just call us your trustworthy companions? Companions are all about helping
Paimon
each
also
other,
have
you know?
brain.
But don't you
only
need to
because
report back to
he
your
was
commissioner?
படிக்காம என்னடா பண்ற?
See, Paimon's got these commissioner types all
அதையெல்லாம்
figured
விட்டு
out,
திட்டுறது
even
வரை.
though we were just tasked with finding out why the fish had gone missing. If we
Only
tell them
afraid,
now that it was all
I'm
just a
only afraid
misunderstanding,
because he
you can
is
bet they'd just
படிக்காம
immediately hand us another commission to help them get the fish back.
Yeah, we are just really experienced in this kind of thing. That's all.
Exactly! So if we can help you finish up your work and get the fish back, that would save us an extra trip!
Is that what you'd like to do as well?
Yeah, I think Paimon is right. Yeah. ஒரு நல்ல ஐடியா கொடுத்துருக்கு.
Alright, I'll trust your judgment.
Okay.
Please follow me. I've made a makeshift camp over there.
ஓ, கேம்ப்ல ரெடி பண்ணியா? நல்லதுடா. He just wants me to study all day. அதுதான் bro.
I've
அதுதான்
stored
நிறைய
Thelxie in
பண்ணுவாங்க.
the tent.
Hey,
He
இதோ
can
இருக்கு.
respond to some simple verbal commands. You can try calling his name and see if he'll come over.
Whoa, sounds pretty advanced. Let Paimon give it a try. Hey, Thelxie, are you there?
என்னடா நடந்துட்டு சுத்துது? ஹாய் சொல்லுது. ஹாய் சொல்லுங்க பைமான் ஓபி. Yes.
So that's Fremine's version of Thelxie. It's also penguin-shaped, just like Pear.
Yep. Had Thelxie lived in Penguin Town,
Thelxie.
he'd probably have become great friends with Pear.
Where is Penguin Town? Wait, Penguin
It's
is
not
just a
really
robot.
anywhere famous or important. Don't worry about it.
Hey, Thelxie, nice to meet you. Do you know how to say hello?
I wanted to install a language output module, but due to time constraints, I had to give
I
up on the
hated Penguin
idea.
so much in
As
Final
it
Story Quest.
stands, Thelxie can only output messages that were pre-written into its motherboard. I haven't given him the ability to convert those messages into discernible words,
Why this much
so
hatred?
he
What's
can't
that
really talk to
little
us just
flying
yet.
thingy?
No need to get so technical. So basically, you want us to help you you complete and install this language module, right?
No, there's no need. That wasn't one of my employer's requests. It was just something I wanted to try. I have 2 other things I'd like your help with. The first is to do some integration testing on Thelxie's motherboard to make sure he will be able to function properly in most situations.
That doesn't sound too hard. And what's the other thing?
The other shouldn't take too long either. You'll need to find Thelxie some colorful shells and coral, so I can craft a weapon for him.
A weapon? Will Thelxie have to fight?
Thelxie will need to be able to charge forward with a weapon in hand, like that brave prince of legend. It's a part of my employer's request.
What an imaginative employer! Naming Thelxie after a water imp, but wanting him to look like a prince?
Well, regardless of his role or species, Thelxie's purpose is the same. Just like Pear, he has come to this world to serve as somebody's companion.
Whoa, Thelxie just said something again! Could he understand what we were just talking about?
He can react to certain key words, but unfortunately, due to the lack of a translation module, he still can't quite communicate with us.
That's a pity. But anyway, the most important thing right now is for us to get to work. Maybe let's start by doing some testing on the motherboard. That sounds like something we can do here in the camp.
Sounds good. The motherboard is on my workbench, so please follow me.
அதுக்கப்புறம் மறுபடியும் வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா மௌன விரதத்துக்குள்ள போயிடு. Only telepathy
Here we
talk.
go. I have this testing manual, so feel free to reference it if you get stuck. Want to give it a try? It's okay if you don't succeed immediately. I've got a lot of backup boards just in case.
Hold up, let Paimon cook.
Okay, knowing you, I'm sure you'll be able to figure it out.
On MCS. HSR mobile எவ்வளோ மெமரி ப்ரோ? கென்ஷினோட கம்மி தான் ப்ரோ. கென்ஷின் அளவுக்கு இல்லை, கென்ஷினோட கம்மி தான், பட் கொஞ்சம் அதிகம் தான். பிகாஸ் அந்த கிராஃபிக்ஸ்லாம் அதிகமாக இருக்கும். ரொம்ப இல்லை. ஓகே, என்ன கேம் ஃபேமிலி சொல்லியிருக்காப்ல? என்னடா இது? என்ன பண்ண? ஓ, ரவுண்டு போட்டேன். ஹை, delete it. GB on iOS. இப்படிதான் விளையாடணும். ஏய், இது வந்ததுல HSRல வந்ததுல இந்த கேம் காப்பி அடிச்சானு பாருங்க.
You're doing well. Just as I expected.
ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வந்த கேமை பார்த்தா செகண்ட் அந்த கேம் காப்பி அடிக்கணும். ஆனா இங்க அப்படியே உல்டாவா இருக்கு. செகண்ட் அந்த கேமை பார்த்து ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அந்த கேம் காப்பி
Let's move on to the underwater part.
It's
just as I mentioned earlier. We're after colorful shells and coral. Oh, speaking of which, you're both already pretty used to Fontaine's underwater environment, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's
experts.
good.
Now Fontaine
Just
எல்லாத்தையுமே
let me know if
100%
you ever feel
பண்ணிட்டேன்.
uncomfortable.
உட்கார்ந்து லாஸ்டா
I'll
இருந்ததையும்
make sure to
100%
stay right by your
பண்ணிட்டேன்.
side.
Next, underwater போணுமா? Yes, we are going underwater. Mention 28 GB on my mobile. ஆமா ப்ரோ, iOSல கம்மியாக தான் இருக்கு. ஆண்ட்ராய்டுக்கு ஒரு 20 போல வரும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். 20. ஆமாம், உங்ககிட்ட நீங்கள் சப்போஸ் உங்ககிட்ட செகண்ட் ஐடி இல்லை, இல்லைனா வந்து செகண்ட் ஐடி கிரியேட் பண்ண மாட்டீங்க அப்படின்னு இருந்தா ஆல்ரெடி ஃபினிஷ் பண்ண போஸ்டெல்லாம் நீங்கள் வந்து delete பண்ணிடலாம். கொஞ்சம் யூஸ்ஃபுல்லாக இருக்கும். டேட்டா
It should be right over there. We'll be able to find something that'll help us with our... This is it. We call this thing an echoing conch. It can detect special reflection waves in the water.
எத்தனை இது ஆன் பண்ணியிருக்கேன் இதெல்லாம்.
Did you notice any interesting places? The echoing conch should have detected some just now. Let's go check them out. Alright, these should be enough. Let's head back to camp.
ஒரு நம்மடா இல்ல அதில் டெலிபோர்ட் ஆகும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். வெல்கம் ப்ரோ. டெலிபோர்ட் இதுக்காக நான் அங்கே தான் இருப்பேன். ஓ யார் இது? ஆயாண்டி டிஸ்ட்ரிக்ட் சோரியா டிஸ்ட்ரிக்ட் என்னடா பேர்? பாட்டு பாடிட்டு இருக்காங்க. ஹாய்.
Fremine, you're back. I thought you might have been out diving.
I'm sorry, Madame Destray. I must have kept you waiting. I can report, though, that the construction of Thelxie is going quite smoothly.
There's no rush. I'm your employer, not your supervisor. And these two are...
Oh, they're two of my trustworthy companions. They're here to help me work on Thelxie.
Yes, I see. I suppose it's only natural for someone responsible like you to have some reliable friends.
Yes.
It's really nice to meet you, Madame Destray. Are you Fremine's employer? Paimon is Paimon, and this is the traveler.
The Paimon is Paimon dialogue யாரா
Greetings, my new
சொன்னது?
friends.
இதுவும்
Just call me
அரைச்ச
Zoria.
மாதிரி இதே தான் சொல்லுது.
You are both
Paimon is
so
Paimon. நீ Paimon தான்
adorable.
தெரியுமே.
The sight of you reminds me of little fairies under a cottage roof.
அதை கியூட்னு நினைச்சிட்டு இருக்கானுங்களா?
Oh, do you really think so?
Paimon is Paimon.
Of course. If my child had friends like
பாவம்
you,
Paimon.
then perhaps he wouldn't have become
வேற
so
dialogue
obsessed
சொல்லுங்க,
with the
மாத்துது.
tales of water imps. And I wouldn't have had to trouble Fremine here with this commission.
Obsessed with the tales of
எல்லாம்
water?
மாறிச்சு, இது மட்டும் மாறல, அதேதான்.
So you don't know anything about my
Paimonோட
request
பழைய
yet?
வாய்ஸ்லாம் கூட மாறிடுச்சு.
I would have thought Fremine had
நான்
explained it to you
Paimon,
already.
RIP.
Well, Fremine told us that it was a private matter, so he didn't want to just share it willy-nilly.
Not fair.
I see. So
Paimon
Monsieur
RIP,
Fremine is
Rest
even
in
more
peace,
discreet than I had
Why?
thought. As you are assisting him with the project, I believe it'll be beneficial for you to learn more about its vision and history. But it would be quite impolite of me to simply pile all of my troubles on you without your permission. So, would you like to listen to my story?
இன்னும் மாறுது.
Sure, you can
இன்னும்
tell
மாறுமா?
us anything. You've already said
Guys,
nice things about us,
mic
so we'll
வந்து
try our
குறுக்கச்சு.
best to help you get through your troubles.
மைக்ல நீ என்ன குத்துனாலும் ஒண்ணா வராது.
Ah, what a lovely little fairy. Then let me think of a
ஒரு
way
அடி
to
போடுற
put my
sound இதை
situation
கேட்டா
into words.
அட்ஜஸ்ட் கரோ.
I'm sure you're already familiar with the tale of the water imps, right? Simply put,
பறந்துருச்சுங்க.
parents came up with a story, painting water imps as scary abductors in an
Arade.
effort to convince their children to stay away from the water.
சீனு.
My child
Aranara
is rather
twist.
special, however. While most
இதுவே
other
பாதி
children
நேரம்
are
பேசுது.
terrified of Thelxie,
வாய்ஸ்
he's
பாருங்க.
infatuated with him.
அதுவும் கரெக்ட் தான்.
Infatuated?
அது அரணாரா
With the
கொஸ்டின் இல்ல, எல்லா கொஸ்டின் இதுதான் அதிகமாக
What a
வித்தியாசம்.
brave soul.
Yes, he told me that he thought the water imp might have just been misunderstood. In his mind, instead of singing to abduct children, the water imp actually sang out of a longing for companionship. As a result, he often goes near the water in secret.
Huh. So he wanted to become friends with the water imp so it wouldn't be lonely any longer? What a unique way of thinking.
Thank you, little Paimon. He indeed has always stood out from the crowd. He was actually diagnosed with loneliness syndrome when he was only 8 years old.
Okay, loneliness
It's a
syndrome.
type of mental disorder. Those affected by it often feel extremely lonely and lose interest in many mundane activities. The syndrome is probably what made him so determined to become friends with the water imp.
Oh no. Is it a very serious disorder?
If you were to become afflicted with the disorder, Paimon, you would only be able to say less than a fraction of the words you're saying to the traveler now.
No! Paimon won't accept that! We would have to find a doctor to help cure Paimon. Paimon has a 2,000-word quota for daily conversations with the traveler, and she won't settle for a single word less!
The family doctor has already begun to treat my son, but since the disorder is rare, there aren't
Traveler,
many good
Echo,
regimens for treatment. He's also developed some new symptoms lately, such as uncontrollable delusions.
Huh?
எப்போ பயமா
Uncontrollable what now?
Uncontrollable delusions. To put it
Yes,
simply,
you are in a
he can no
delusion,
longer
Paimon.
differentiate between fantasy and reality, and spends all his time in his fantasy world.
Untata.
Then what is he seeing in his fantasy world?
It's a dream that he often mentioned to me when he was younger. I've compiled what I could understand of his recent rambling. It goes a bit like this.
Another continue ஆகுமா? Conquest slowly water imps. Live in house made of rainbow shells and corals. Tending to sea animals during the day and shining, singing, singing between fields of golden. Idalga during the night. Idalga. இல்ல டடக்காவா? என்னடா பேர் வைக்கிறீங்க ஒழுங்கா everyone went carefree and blessed lives until the day of the parade, the important festival during which the new king will be crowned. கிங்கா எதுக்கு? ஓ, அந்த பெண் குயினா? நெசமாவே அந்த பெண் குயின் உசுரோட தான் இருக்குதா? ஐயோ, அது ரோபோட் மாதிரி இருக்குதா? கிடையாது. Before the festival, all water imps would select the most precious pearl they owned, wrap it in golden branches and leaves, and offer it to their most beloved prince. Oh, சரிங்களா? புதையல் கொடுக்குதுங்க. And during the day of the parade, the prince would cross a rainbow bridge made from all the offered shells and accept the crown from his father. Oh, aimed the applause of his subjects. Finally, the new king would bless everyone with his well wish. Okay. Innuma? And as for the princess, no, it's none other than oh, yeah, Texel தானே வரும். இது நம்ம சொல்லலாம்.
Amazing!
ஐயா, செகண்ட்
Your
பேரா
son
எப்போ
came up with
சாமி
all
வரும்?
of this?
செகண்ட் பேஸ்.
He really
செகண்ட்
crafted a
பேஸுக்கு இன்னும்
lovely
இருக்கு ப்ரோ
fairy
டைம்.
tale world for
செகண்ட் பேஸ் கொஞ்சம்
Thelxie.
லேட்டாக வரேன்.
It's like a
ஹாய் ஜெயந்த் ப்ரோ,
beautiful
வெல்கம் டு தி ஸ்ட்ரீம்.
dream.
But perhaps no beautiful dream can ever last long. You see,
பக்கத்து வீட்டு ஆண்டி
the
வந்து இருக்கா?
story ended with a
ஜெயந்த்
twist.
ப்ரோ ஸ்டோக்கு கேக்குது. The day of iridescence parade came as expected, but countless monsters also arrived alongside the prince. The monsters were evil and cruel, and they struck fear into all the water imps' hearts. The water imps um, adopted singing as they were. Okay, could not defend themselves against the monsters, so the kingdom fell. The king was killed. Oh my god. And the water imps were locked behind bars. Oh, jail. Okay. The rainbow bridge lost its color and crumbled away. the prince was barely able to escape with the help of a mysterious masked individual, feminist, but he had already lost everything and could only spend his days singing mournful songs. Okay, and just as the lone sang out of loneliness of could so could his song only be heard by similarly lonely children. Oh,
How could the story
lonely
end like
இருக்கவங்களுக்கு மட்டும்
this?
தான் கேக்குமா?
Is that kind of
என்ன
fantasizing what
புதுசா
caused your son to develop his loneliness
பாதி
syndrome?
பாதியா கதை படிக்கிறீங்க.
Well, it'd be more accurate to say that it was the syndrome that caused such terrible delusions to manifest.
சும்மாதான் ஜெயந்த்
But in any case, the
இதுல வாய்ஸ்
biggest
வருதுல்ல
problem
இதுதான்
is
அது
the
பண்றான்.
patient eventually loses themselves to the fantasy world of their own creation.
My poor child can no longer differentiate between imagination and reality. He's begun to see himself as Thelxie.
Perhaps in his mind, the loneliness he felt became the same as that of a prince who lost everything he ever loved or stood
Okay,
for.
okay. என்னது இது?
What? So
Evanta.
that's what you meant by
இல்ல ஜெயந்த்
uncontrollable
ப்ரோ
delusions.
ஆர்கான் போஸ்ட் ஆக்ட்
Then
6.
we have to help him snap out of it.
Yes.
Alas, most of the time he acts as if he can no longer sense or interact with the real world at all. I've had several discussions with the doctor, and we think it is best to try to guide his
Nothing?
fantasy.
ஆக்ட் 6 ப்ரோ. Right is
He once wanted to make a picture book of his imaginary
ஆர்கான்
world,
போஸ்ட். எஸ்.
but since the disorder
சில்க்ஸ்
progressed too
அப்படின்றது பெரிய
quickly,
வெயிட் கை.
he never quite got past the first page of the book. If we could
அது
use
மூலியமா
this book
போறோம்
as a
இப்போ.
breakthrough for his condition. Here, you can take a look.
பாருங்க.
So Zuria's son also saw Thelxie as a penguin. Oh, he
இது நம்ம
looks so
லிஸ்ட்லயே இல்லையே.
sad.
ஆமா
What
ப்ரோ
we
யார்
should do
லிஸ்ட்லயே
now
இல்ல.
is help him
இது
complete
கென்ஷன்
this
லிஸ்ட்லயே
picture
இல்ல.
book. However, we'll lead the story to a different ending. One where the water imp prince is eventually able to restore his kingdom with the help of his friends. We'll need to chase away his loneliness and sorrow and let him perceive a world full of hope again.
Okay.
That's what I mean by guiding his fantasy.
But if we just need to finish the picture book, why does Fremine need to make a Thelxie as well?
Because we need to treat the book's story seriously, as if it's a history of things that have really happened. We'll need to go on a journey
Giant
like
bro,
Thelxie
இதையும் வந்துட்டு
and
question
help
bro.
him regain his crown and country.
இன்னைக்கு வந்துச்சு.
But my child can no longer go on a journey of his own. This is why I commissioned Fremine here to craft a Thelxie, and then I'll paint the journey with this Thelxie into the picture book.
Ah, like a stand-in for your son! Paimon's starting to get it now. Oh, you really put a lot of thought into this, Zuria. Paimon still has one question, though. Where will we be able to find a water imp kingdom?
There are some ruins on the seabed of the
DC-ல தான் bro
Salacia
இருக்கு.
Plains. I've
Encrypted
already
ல இருக்கு
asked
இப்போ.
Fremine to research them for me. We'll be able to use one of the ruins as the kingdom.
ஈவென்ட்
So we'll
முடிஞ்சதுக்கு
just
அப்புறம்
need to
நார்மல்
act out a performance of, a brave journey through the kingdom of water imps. As long as we chase away the monsters in the
இப்பதான்
ruins, it'll
ஆரம்பிக்கிறீங்களா?
count as
Yes,
chasing
yes.
away the monsters in the water imp kingdom, right?
Sadly, no. We won't just be putting on a performance. It's just as Zuria said. We need to take this seriously, and the only way we can take this seriously is if we choose to believe everything that's happening is real.
So we'll be playing it
அந்த
straight,
ஹோப் இருக்கறனால தான்
or,
டென்ஷன்ல நிறைய பேர்
making
சர்வைவ்
it
ஆறாங்க.
a fully immersive experience? Oh, neither of those really sound right. Well, either way, we'll still be able to help, right?
எத்தனை ரைட்டு?
It's all right. There's no need to get that serious. It's not a big deal. I believe in my
புது
son.
கேரக்டர் கன்
We
பண்ணு
can just see this as
இல்லையே.
him wanting to stay
அது இதுல
asleep
வருதா?
for a bit longer, because he's so enamored with his dream.
Zuria.
Keep your
Sorry.
spirits up, everyone. If we were to look troubled, my
தெரியலையே.
son is
அப்பா
sure to
என்னையா
become
கேக்குற?
anxious as well. I should be heading back right about now to check
வருது
on my
போல
son.
இருக்குன்னு நினைச்சு எக்ஸைட் ஆனேன்.
We temporarily moved to a place on the hill over there, so my son will have a better spot to convalesce. It's not far from the water, and there's also a great view. Feel free to come find me if anything urgent comes up.
Understood. There's also one last thing. Since these two friends were able to help me out, I've made some more progress on Thelxie. I estimate that he should be ready sometime tomorrow.
That's great news. I must thank you all.
அது புது
With that in
கண்கள்
mind, how about we meet here in
வருது
2
போல
days'
அந்த
time to
போஸ்டர்
head to the
அப்படி
kingdom of water imps? All right,
அது இது
everyone.
வரைக்கும் காட்டல
Let's meet again in another 2 days.
Zarya sure is a brave and optimistic lady. Fremine, do you think her plan will work out?
Let's discuss that over by the tent. There were a few things that I didn't bring up because the madame was here.
ஸ்கர் கம்மாவன பார்க்கணும். ஏன் உங்க வைஃப் ஆன் பார்க்கவா? இல்ல இவ்வளவு ஸ்டார்ம் லேடியை பெத்து போட்டுருக்கீங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லி பாராட்டவா?
What did you want to say?
தலைவர் திமிங்கலம் எங்கே? திமிங்கலம் அதுதான் பெட் அனிமலாமே. பெட் அனிமலே அவ்வளவு
I
பெருசு
would like
காட்டுது.
the two of you to mentally prepare yourselves.
Mentally prepare ourselves for what?
This is the first time that you've met anyone with the syndrome, right? I know you two are both really strong and will do everything you can to help the child. But with the syndrome being the way it is, if things don't quite turn out as we wish,
எக்ஸாம்லாம் எப்படி
I
பண்ணீங்க?
hope
இல்ல
you'll be
இன்னும்
able
இருக்கா
to
எக்ஸாம்?
accept the outcome and not
Exam
put
இருக்குன்னு
too much
சொன்னீங்க.
blame on yourselves.
Fremine, why do you bring this up all of a sudden? Didn't we just promise Zarya that we'll be optimistic about everything working out?
It's not that I'm not optimistic. It's just...
ஏதோ பண்ணிருக்கீங்களா? You know this illness really well. Yes.
So that's why you looked like you knew exactly what she was talking about. Wait, Fremine, don't tell Paimon that you also...
No. Please don't misunderstand.
எனக்கும் அதே டவுட் தான் வந்துச்சு
never
பைமான்.
had it.
பரவாயில்ல. உனக்கும் இதுலயாவது வேவ் கரெக்டா இருக்கே.
I've just seen many
உனக்கும் அந்த
cases
நோய்
of it
இருக்குதாடா?
at the House of the Hearth, back when we lived under the previous director. They say there are many factors surrounding the development of this illness. I've heard everything from hereditary factors and one's state of mind to environmental factors and even ley line disorder effects. Some even say it could be caused by contamination from god remains. And from the cases I've seen, there weren't many positive outcomes. In the worst cases, the patient could even pass away.
What? It could get that serious? And here Paimon thought they just stopped talking as much.
Yeah, that's just the nature of it. So if you'll find it difficult to cope with the worst case scenario, I would prefer that you back out right now. I don't want you to help only to feel like you failed.
Hey, now's not the time to be joking around. Don't worry,
Dai,
Fremine.
ரொம்ப சீரியஸா பேசிட்டு இருக்கறவங்க சொல்லிட்டு ஒரு ஜோக் அடிச்சு எல்லாம் சிரிக்கலாம். என்ன நீ?
Really? Then in that case, let's see this real-life fantasy adventure together to the end.
Real life fantasy adventure.
But Paimon has a question. If this
சோறு போடுவியா
illness
அதானே?
can really be as bad as you've described, then do you really think Zarya's method will be able to help? After all, we'll just be using a toy as Thelxie and some ruins as the kingdom of water imps. The whole adventure will only be turned into a picture book for her son to read.
Well, I think it should be able to do something. To harbor a fantasy means that the child wants to save himself somehow. The only reason he's allowed his dream kingdom to fall is because he's lost control of his heart. But if we can help him regain control and escape from the darkness, we'll be able to change his world. Like helping someone who's lost their voice be able to speak again.
Oh, Paimon sees what you're saying now. Huh. How do you understand all of this so well, Fremine?
Well, maybe because I have also had many of my own dreams in the past. I even had my own fairy tale world, much like that boy's. I was able to draw a lot of support from it.
இன்னைக்கு நல்ல ஃபார்ம்ல
So
இருக்கீங்க
I
ஐயா.
believe in the power of fantasy worlds.
Okay.
So you remembered.
What Penguin Town? Why doesn't Paimon remember? Is that also a fairy tale
என்ன
world?
கார்டு
Don't leave
புதுசா
Paimon in the dark!
வந்திருக்கு ஐயா? காட் எதுவும் புதுசா சொல்லல. காட் ரிமைன்ஸ் அப்படின்னு பேசுறோம். காட் ரிமைன்ஸ்னா ஒரு காடு அழிஞ்சிட்டா கூட அவங்களோட சில துளிகள். அது பைசு ஸ்டோரி குவெஸ்ட் விளையாடுன்னு உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சிடும். விளையாண்டிங்களா பைசு ஸ்டோரி குவெஸ்ட்? அதுலயும் ஒருத்த வந்து காட் ரிமைன்ஸால அஃபெக்ட் ஆயிருப்பான். காட் ரிமைன்ஸா? எஸ், காட் ரிமைன்ஸால வந்துட்டு
It's just one of my
அஃபெக்ட் ஆயிருப்பான்.
personal quirks. Please pay
விளையாண்டி
it no mind.
அதில் தான்
Anyway,
அருமை ப்ரோ.
Penguin
காட்
Town is
ரிமைன்ஸால
a
ஒருத்த அஃபெக்ட்
peaceful
ஆயிருப்பான்.
place with lots
ஷாவ்
of
கிட்டலாம்
penguin residents.
ஹெல்ப் கேட்போம்.
They're
ஷாவ் தான்
all really
சொல்லுவான்
good
காட்
at
ரிமைன்ஸ்
making
அப்படி இப்படின்னு நிறைய
clockwork
அவன்
toys.
ஒரு எக்ஸ்பிளனேஷன் கொடுப்பான்.
And Pear is the town's
கொடுத்ததுக்கப்புறம் போய்
triumphant
தேடுவோம்
hero,
எந்த இடத்துல
as
இருக்குது
well as the
காட்
one who
ரிமைன்ஸ்.
quietly protects the whole place.
நீ
Pear?
ஆஃபான் பேசுறது
But didn't you make Pear yourself?
பேசுவான். எஸ், அதேதான்.
Well, I often think that Pear only came to me because he realized how much I
அதே மாதிரி
needed him.
இதுவும் ஒரு ஃபேண்டசி
So it's not
வந்துட்டு
so much
அஃபெக்ட்
that I
ஆகி
made Pear, as Pear
ஒரு
chose
காட்
me as his
ரிமைன்ஸால
friend.
அஃபெக்ட் ஆகி ஃபேண்டசி வேர்ல்ட்ல வந்து லாக் ஆன மாதிரி ஒரு
Fremine, are you
கான்செப்ட்.
sure you're not losing
வேர்ல்ட்னா
control of your
மைண்ட்லயே
fantasies as well?
No, I don't think so. I can still differentiate between fantasy and reality. I just believe that the fairy tale world of my dreams must also exist somewhere. It might just be hidden, which is why it's difficult to
பழைய
see.
ஹைட்ரோ ஆர்கானோட
Or it
காட்
will only
ரிமைன்ஸ்னு
reveal itself at very
சொல்றாங்களா?
specific
அது
times.
எதுவும் இது இருக்கு சொல்லலாம். அந்த
Specific
மாதிரி எதுவும் சொல்ல,
times?
காட் ரிமைன்ஸ்
Like
மட்டும்
when you
தான்
put
சொல்றேன்.
on your diving helmet?
Yeah, that's the general idea of it.
Really? Paimon just said that because you put on your helmet.
Have you ever observed the surface world from underwater? It's as if you're viewing a whole different world from the outside. It's a very surreal feeling, both alienating, but also as if you're being protected by something. I have a similar feeling when I put on my diving helmet. In those moments, it's possible to see some truly wondrous things, as if a fairy tale has become reality. It's almost like a sort of miracle.
Really? Like a miracle?
ஃபர்ஸ்டே இன்னும் ஆடல, பட் நிறைய கொஸ்டின்ஸ். எஸ்.
Well, if that's in order.
That's an order. No,
Hey,
I'm
don't
just
you still
kidding.
need time to work on Thelxie's weapon? We don't want to keep you from finishing your commission.
Right.
Yes.
I still have to collect some
அந்த
tools
பெண்குயினுக்கு
I'll need to
வெப்பன் ஆக்க
craft the
போறோமா?
weapon. I've got to finish everything before tomorrow. Thank you for reminding me,
பெண்குயின்லாம் வெப்பன் யூஸ்
Paimon.
பண்ணுது.
I'm sure there'll be other opportunities for you to try my
Yeah.
helmet. Thanks for all of your help.
இழுத்து இழுத்து
I'll be
பேசுறான்.
off for now. Let's meet up here again in
ஆனா
2
லைவ்
days.
ஸ்ட்ரீம் எல்லாம் எவ்வளவு ஜாலியா இருக்கும் தெரியுமா? இவனுக்கு கேரக்டர் அந்த முதல்ல பேச சொல்லியிருக்கானுன்னு நினைக்கிறேன், எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சு. ஏன்னா அவன் லைவ் ஸ்ட்ரீம் எல்லாம் செம ஜாலியாக தான் பேசுறான், நல்லா ஃபாஸ்ட்டாக தான் பேசுறான். ஓ அர்சி, இது மாஸ்கோடில் வருதுன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். இல்லை, ஓகே, அந்த பெண்குயின் வந்துட்டு மாஸ்கோடில் பேசுது. அடப்பாகிறா, மாஸ்கோடில் பேசுறதெல்லாம் பண்ண முடியாது. அது சேலஞ்ச் இங்கே தானே. இது ஈவெண்ட் பையன். ஆமா, ஈவெண்ட் தான். இல்ல, கீழே மாஸ்கோட் வந்துச்சு, நீங்க பார்த்தா தெரிஞ்சிருக்கும். கரெக்டாக முடிச்சுட்டு அதான் ட்விட்ச் பார்த்துட்டு ப்ளே பண்ண முடியல. ஓகே ப்ரோ, முடிச்சிட்டாங்க. ஆர்கான் கோஸ்ட்னு உண்டை போட்டீங்க. யோ அதுக்கப்புறம் நான் தான் சொன்னேனே ப்ரோ, இது ஆர்கான் கோஸ்ட் இல்லை, சும்மா தான் சொன்னேன். எம்என்இ ஸ்டடிக்கு எத்தனை வேணும்? வீட்டியா Thelxie பேச்சஸ். இதில் க்ரௌன் உண்டோ? க்ரௌன் இருக்குன்னு தான் இருக்கு. யாரா தெரியல, அதோ இருக்கு க்ரௌன் உண்டு. ஆனால் 100 வேணும் பேட்ச்.